Hey, philosopher here. I'm here with my friend OhMGee Mobile Gamer, and we're here to talk about some of the most exciting news we've had in Marvel Strike Force for a long time. How you doing, Mobile Gamer?
I'm doing ecstatically well, and I'm thrilled about Silver Surfer and Silver Surfer's kit and the potential of the ending of the mirror match of Black Order on Black Order. I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm so sick of doing that same fight. And, the reason we have Stockwatch up is if you've been paying attention to my infographics, if you've been on our Discord, and the link will be below in the description, we have been predicting this for a while. Like, look what we say: hold resources for a meta shift away from Black Order to a new arena team. That's what you got here. So if you want to know right up front, what is Silver Surfer going to do? He's going to end the Black Order meta completely. He is a Black Order counter and a single character. And boy, is he going to be released in an interesting way as well. Got some rumors to share with you about that before I bring in OhMGee. And just to be clear, these are rumors that I've gotten from two separate sources that both are telling me the same thing, two people I trust, and have given me kind of some stuff that has been accurate in the past. And so here's what I've been told. First of all, on March 16th is the next patch. Silver Surfer, Polaris, and Multiple Man will be in it, and Silver Surfer will be available to everyone via a special event. And then after that, he's coming in the raid milestones over multiple raid seasons. And I think OhMGee, I think that's going to just really change what alliances are doing. They're going to have to really work hard on the Doom raid over the next few raid seasons to get this character.
Right, and you said that, and you're looking forward. Build your roster to farm Doom raid. You were saying that in this sheet about the Doom raid, but I think the Doom raid is going to become increasingly more important as we go through. If that's going to be the new release method, I mean, I'm thinking this is going to be end game stuff. Where to get more shards of Doom, you're going to need to be, have more shards of Silver Surfer. Yeah, more
Destroyer of words.
Yeah, I know, destroyer of names, right? No, but basically the importance of the Doom raid is going to be magnified if this is how it's going to play out. Which, if to do 100% of the Doom raid requires pretty much everybody in your alliance to have Doom. I mean, or core it. You know what I mean? It's not easy, and Doom, is a partial solution to two of the 5 legs in the Doom raid. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, if you don't have Doom in the Mystic Session, you can get by with like Ghost Rider, Mordo, Maw, Hela, and Thanos, but it's harder. And without a doubt, I mean, you're going to need the Astonishing X-Men or X Factor, one of those two in the mutant section. Obviously, you'll have to have a big symbiote, and then for skill, we talk about it elsewhere in that infographic. You're going to need to have Night Nurse or Red Guardian. So,
and tech,
look,
tech.
Oh yeah, tech. Oh yeah.
So that's where you're going to need Doom, is the tech part, right?
Or your 7 Red Star Ultron eventually, but exactly. So let's talk about Silver Surfer though, because that's the main event here. Totally transformational character. And let me just say on paper, just because people want to know the bottom line. Bottom line is, I think on paper he looks like the best character in the game to me. So if people are asking me, should I bring him to DD4? Unless the unique cost is crazy, like it's the first 200 unique character that you need, you're going to bring him into DD4.
Right.
You're going to take him to Gear 15 right away. You're going to spend all your gold promos on him. This is the real deal, right here.
And not only does he look like he's going to be one of the best characters, if not the best character in the game, they also alluded to he's going to play some future role later. He's going to be a plug-and-play standalone character, and then they kept on mentioning he being the herald of Galactus, and that they almost implied that he was coming to the game someday. And I don't think that's going to be anytime soon, but it seems to me that the long-term value of Silver Surfer is pretty much inherent in the way that they pitched it on that Strike Time video.
Yeah, and one of the rumors that I got from one of my sources said he's, quote, not tied to one team at first, as Captain Marvel was initially. So I think that tells me that they're planning to eventually put him in a team. But right now, he's not part of a team, plug-and-play character, just like Doom is right now. And you're going to have them on your arena team once he enters the game. So let's look at this kit, because it is pretty amazing.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Right? It's crazy, yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, on spawn, defense up for 3 turns. Other than Merc Riot Guard, that's the only other place that you're going to see defense up for 3 turns. But this next one is insane. On any turn, so that means any ally, any enemy, if your enemy has, for example, Doombots, every time a Doombot takes a turn, Silver Surfer is going to heal. If you or your enemy has Ultron and all those Ultron bots, every time a bot takes a turn, he's going to heal. So could you imagine him with Healer ISO, blue Healer ISO maybe? He might be unkillable.
Or you were mentioning, your opponent having Doom. What about both sides having Doom? I mean, it's just going to be, it's going to be healing constantly, and he's going to be, it's going to be tricky. I mean, heal block is going to be real important.
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to have to be part of the solution. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to kill this character, because when you look at that ability in conjunction with the next one, so on turn, he gets additional speed. So based on the abilities that were used in the video, some of the folks on my stream calculated that his speed was going to be somewhere between 122 to 129.
Very good.
Which is very fast.
Very fast.
And if you just look, if you look at the fastest characters in the game, there's one that's 155, which is Black Widow. Yo-Yo's 140, and then it goes down to 130. So he's like right below the sort of that tier of the 130 characters. But then it's going to go up into the 140s on his second turn, 140 to 148.
Right.
On his third turn, it's going to go to 161 to 170. So he will become by far the fastest character in the game by his third turn. So if he's 100% health on his third turn, watch out, right? He's going to just take unlimited turns.
There are some characters that spawn with, speed up, and Blackwater's going to go first, but we're talking about raw speed, so like there's some characters that just get going up faster, like Proxima and such, but he's almost like they start strong and then go down. He's going to be doing the opposite. He's just going to be ramping up throughout the battle, which is very interesting.
Well, and that's why he's such an interesting person to have, or character to have with Doom, because Doom is a character that also ramps up, right? If Doom gets to its ultimate, you're probably dead. And so the problem is you're going to have to choose. Do you want to shut down Silver Surfer? Do you want to shut down Doom? How are you going to do it? And I think there's going to be an interesting calculus for players where they're like, okay, I want to ability block Doom. I want to heal block Silver Surfer. I want to shut down one of these guys. Do you stun Silver Surfer? Like, what are you going to do to shut down two just absolute world-beating characters at once?
Well, and I think that's an interesting thing that's going to be happening is even X Factor has kind of a delayed benefit, right? Where, once they take a turn and they start getting the crits and it starts ramping up with the speed and everything like that. But basically, I think there's going to be a decision between, going quickly, going first and doing something important like landing ability block with Zemo, right? And then having characters that ramp up, and then also, having these characters that do stuff very early, like even Proxima is going very quickly, right? She goes really early, right? And then are you going to preempt that with Bishop or Red Guardian? So there's a lot of interesting things going on. I can see going forward. I don't think there's a clear path to what's going to be the best team.
I think so either. And after we go through the kit, I do want to talk a little bit about team composition. Okay. I've been discussing it with a lot of other players, and I think there's a lot of interesting choices. So, look here, another key part of this, look at these next two lines. Let's look at those. So let's look at the second one first. If this character has offense up, all attacks ignore defense up. That may be the craziest line in his entire kit. Yeah. Because defense up is arguably, one of the best buffs, if not the best buff. 50% damage reduction, higher resistance. It really, keeps you alive. Well, essentially, when you get offense up, you get 50% more damage. He's now going to be essentially getting like 100% more damage, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you've got to figure out when you're constructing your team for Arena, how the heck can I get offense up onto Silver Surfer? And to me, look at that first line. One obvious choice is Phoenix, because when Phoenix dies, she'll do her thing. Her original Phoenix is not summoned. She's going to give offense up to Silver Surfer.
Right, and think about how important a character like Yo-Yo is in crippling the enemy team, or Ebony Maw applying defense up and offense down. Right, this is the opposite of that, and all of his abilities look like they have piercing, so there's no armor factor on this, and his base stats are damage or beyond Black Bolt. So this, I can't explain how important offense up, ignoring defense up, having piercing, and then just having raw strong stats is. we're not like making stuff up when we say that this probably is going to be the best character in the game. It certainly looks that way.
Yeah, I think that they've constructed him to be the best player in the game. That's clearly what they want to happen, and they clearly want to completely decimate Black Order in one character, and that's my clear takeaway from this kit. But this is definitely going to be important. I should say, by the way, the other thing with the offense up, the other obvious way that I would think getting there is Beast, potentially if you have some Axemen on your team to get him offense up. Or who knows, some new characters to come. For all we know, Polaris gives him offense up.
I really like this idea of using Phoenix, because Phoenix herself is, in her original form is made to die. And she is not a summon. The Dark Phoenix is, and then this will facilitate that for sure. And protect Doom and protect Silver Surfer. Not that they're going to need a lot of protection, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a distraction, right? You're going to have this self.
And I mean, if you have to choose between a pre-taunting tank like Bishop and or Red Guardian versus, if you have the option to use Phoenix, I think a lot of people would use Phoenix instead. Plus, people have Phoenix already developed out, so that's great.
Yeah, she's another threat, right? Now, when you look here, it gained 50% resistance to the character as one or more villain cosmic enemies. Well, the obvious ones are Black Order.
It's all Black Order,
yeah. I mean, there's like Hela and Thor, but people aren't using them in Arena anymore. So that is going to be insane. And what these two lines here, really, I think the importance of these OhMGee is that if you've got like a 3 or 4 star Silver Surfer, I think he will be effective against Black Order. Sure. With this extra resistance and focus, right?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not only does he have stats, but he also has a kit base. It's quite amazing. All of it's great.
Yeah, so this resistance is going to be great against Black Order. The extra focus, if this character has one or more hero cosmic allies, is what it says.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite character in the game right now? And is he a hero?
Long shot. Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing I've been telling everyone, and we preach it on the Stock Watch and on my streams and everything. Is Longshot's the best character in the game other than Doom, is my view. Now we've got a new best character in the game. They all seem to be released now, right? They want us to spend our money on them. But I will just say the interaction here is going to be pretty awesome. And obviously Invisible Woman is another choice.
Right. She interacts with Doom. Yeah, she interacts with Doom too. So you're going to get double, Doom's going to get the bonuses and then you got Hero Cosmic right here with Silver Surfer. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think they meant for that to be I think they had that in mind in this interaction, without a doubt. And, she also, when Invisible Woman gets to 50% health, Doom gives her some ability, energy, and speed bar. So definitely, she only takes up one slot, right? Whereas X Factor, you're going to want to have 2 or more.
But every time I think about it using Invisible Woman, I'm not sure, if, let's say you're going to do long shot anyways, right? I think I would rather have somebody like Emma or Phoenix than Invisible Woman in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, the only reason to have Invisible Woman in there is if you only have one slot in your Arena team and you need a Hero Cosmic for one slot. But I think otherwise you're going to go with X Factor, probably, would be my guess.
Yep.
And then it's going to be something, right? And they're coming out with more X Factor. And then lower resistance for 50% for all enemies with heal block. That's just going to interact with this ultimate, which let's just take a look at that right now. Is available turn 1. And this basically is the Black Order killer right here. Clearing immunity from Maw and Thanos, and then applying heal block to everybody for 2 turns because they get those regens, right? You don't want them to heal back up with the regens.
Well, and just having the lowered resistance, leads the path to whatever is coming behind Silver Surfer to apply negative effects. It's gonna be a lot easier, that's for sure.
Without a doubt. Then this next part, let's put the charge to the side because that's a totally new thing too. But clearing all positive effects, just so everyone understands, even right now, the key to countering Black Order in the arena is having either Emma or Doc Ock. Emma on her ult removes the positive effects, Doc Ock flips the positive effects on Black Order. This does the same thing on turn 1 and then does all this other stuff. And ability block for 2 turns. That's amazing against Thanos, right? So he doesn't ult. It's also amazing against Doom.
So the other day I was talking about what is the best turn 1 ult, and we kind of roundabout came up to like Hela and how awesome Hela is, spreading negative effects. I mean, clearing all positive effects right at the start of the battle is very good. Clearing charge, yeah. Applying ability
block for 2. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, because and this ability block is kind of a big deal too for somebody like Doom who can't be stunned. That's a big deal.
Oh, it's insane. It's the best ability to use against Doom on turn 1. It's the best ability to use against Black Order on turn 1. That's why I'm saying he's the best. So amazing. And all the piercing damage, right? With like Black Bolt level damage. So right. Insane. All right,
and they're implying that it happens in the order of this. So clearing immunity is a big deal because then this stuff could stick. You know what I mean? Which it was always a risk when you're going up against, let's say, Ebony Maw and Thanos, is that they have immunity, right? And then this is not going to be a thing.
No. This is clearly constructed to counter the Black Order, 100%. All right, let's go up to the special. Also available turn 1. Another tool in the toolbox to beat Black Order: attack primary target for 600% piercing and apply disrupted for 2 turns. I think that would, on its own, really shut down Cull Obsidian, don't you?
Without a doubt. And then I think Silver Surfer is so fast, he might be able to go twice before Cull gets to do his thing and get the disrupted. Yeah, that'd be kind of. Then also defense down. Again, like these 2 abilities that we're looking at, both the special and the ultimate, by themselves, without doing a lot of damage, are amazing. Without even having a lot of... Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Even if Silver Surfer is not going to have Black Bolt level damage, which he does, it's still amazing without that. And I know you're a big fan of Longshot, but a lot of Longshot is just damage, right? And then, getting a lot of speed. This is different. This is very, very different. This is a lot better, actually. And the only thing I can see is his high cooldowns. But he's so fast.
Yeah.
He's so fast.
He's so fast, doesn't matter.
And his basic is so amazing. I don't think it's going to matter either. It's just going to be crazy.
Absolutely. Well, let's go to that basic now that you're mentioning it. The basic is, in some ways, the most broken part of this, right? Because on every single turn, we get excited when a basic
Jubilee basic, right? Jubilee basic.
Yeah, Jubilee basic.
So
wow.
Exciting. Yeah, this is another level.
Right. It's like, wow, 70% chance to blind. That's amazing. Okay, well, look at this. Transfer all negative effects from this character to the primary target, so a cleanse, right? And then if the character doesn't have negative effects, it's a buff steal. Like, transfer all positive effects, all of them on basic. I mean, that's insane.
So imagine the striker, right?
Oh yeah.
So Silver Surfer has a bunch of negative, has defense down and offense down. First hit, he kicks that over to the other person, and then if they have positive effects, he takes it.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So basically, he's gonna flip and basically effectively, swap them around, right? That's great. With a double tap, right? You know what I mean? Like everything that they have, suddenly you get all the negatives and I get all the positives. It's a double tap. That's great, and that's why
we would be. Yeah, absolutely. And I was just going to say, even if he didn't have a special and an ultimate, if he just did this every turn and had good stats, we'd be like, wow, that's pretty good, right? We would be happy with that.
There's a lot of power creep here, a lot, and we're gonna get to the spec sheet later. But my goodness, right? It's not just kit; it's stats too. It's a double whammy, because we talk about I talk about stat based characters and then kit-based characters, and I think a good example of that is Ebony Maw versus Cull. Cull is a stat-based character. He benefits from having, high red star. Well, all characters benefit from red star, but Ebony Maw not necessarily. Like I would never pick Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw is good regardless. Silver Surfer is both, stats and kit, which is very interesting. Kind of in some way that I think that's just fascinating. It is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Black Order counter on his own, one character. Unbelievable. Well, let's go to those stats that you talked about. This is something Hounds put together. Basically, what he did is captured off the video the stats from the lower right-hand corner. You want to look at the ones on the left. Those are not boosted by ISO. Compare them. The rest are from MSF.GG. And the bottom line is, Silver Surfer has the 7th highest health of the game. So basically, right around where Cull Obsidian, Squirrel Girl, Aim Security are. He's got the second highest damage, higher than Black Bolt, higher than Dark Phoenix. His damage stat is 11th best armor, which is still amazing. That's his lowest stat. Second best focus, second best resistance. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I hope that this information is accurate. I've seen, them put disclaimers. I know when they give us beta footage, and the footage in that video was, beta developer footage, because you could see like the little tracking boxes and things like that. But they did publish it, but they've been known to publish wonky things before. But if these stats are accurate, and I do believe they are, basically, him and Dr. Doom are on a different level than the rest of the characters in the game.
Yeah, and I think so. Then, really, what it becomes for your arena team. So let's just talk arena for a second, because that's what I'm getting questions on, particularly from high-end end game type players. Is other than Doom and Silver Surfer are definitely on their arena teams. Right. Who are the other 3 slots? And I think the question is going to come down to, what do these new X Factor do? Are they cosmic? They could be global. Right. And how do they interact? So, does one of them give offense up? If one of them gives offense up to allies, let's just say early on, then you don't need to worry about Phoenix. If multiple man dies multiple times all the time during the battle, that can interact well with Silver Surfer. Right. So I think some of it's going to be that. But based on our current characters, it seems to me like you probably want to have Phoenix. You probably want to have X Factor. So to me, if I was making a team today, my first try would be like Phoenix, Longshot, Shatterstar, Doom, and Silver Surfer.
Right.
But I've had other players tell me Red Guardian, or put Invisible Woman and Red Guardian in Phoenix, or something like that.
And this is a fun conversation, right? Where you're basic. This is the way I see your team, and which is fun, is that you have 3 sets of teams. 4 sets of threats, right? You have Phoenix, yes, X Factor, Doom, and Silver Surfer. All of them in by themselves are slower than Zemo Emma combo, let's say, right? They're slower, right? It's slower, but they get really crazy as it goes on. As soon as Doom goes off, it's crazy, right? And then Silver Surfer's speed is going to be accelerating through the match. As soon as X Factor starts critting, as soon as anybody starts critting, the barrier and the speed ramping up, or start taking turns and turns and turns, it becomes very scary. How are you going to shut down all of those threats? Are you going to be able to build a team fast enough to shut down each one of those threats? I think you could shut down one of the threats. Pretty sure you could probably do some funny, Zemo, Hela, Emma combo and spread ability block everywhere. But then where does that lead you? Turn 2, turn 3. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, the problem is those teams, are they going to be able to kill all of these characters, right? Particularly if they're
you can have your own Silver Surfer and Doom, of course, but
Well, I assume, but and that's the thing. It's going to be these Doom Silver Surfer are going to be in 2 of the slots, and so the question is just going to be, what are the other slots? I've also heard people talking about X-Men having Beast with Bishop and Jubilee, because Bishop is a hero cosmic. Sure. Beast gives offense up. I think it's exciting, but one thing I think you've noticed, other than Phoenix and Invisible Woman, all the characters we're talking about have been released very recently, and I think this speaks to what you're talking about, that power creep.
Well, I mean, power creep is inherent into a game. I mean, if we think about something that did not have power creep and they're outraged with skill military, do you want bad characters or do you want power creep? And and then it's when it becomes excessive is that I get worried.
I agree with that. It has been ramped up a lot, but it's just, I think it's also, you have something you have to realize when you're investing. If you want to invest, I think, in the newer characters. I will say one thing that we haven't talked about, which I think will be interesting, is what impact he will have in Alliance War. Right, he's certainly going to be certain teams he can't counter. I don't think he'll counter the mercenaries. They'll attack so many times in the beginning and potentially just shut him down. But a lot of teams, you might be able to send him in with a garbage team, right, and clear out an enemy team with him alone.
Right, and my experience has been in these hero collector games is that regardless of the overall power of the character, it's very hard to make a character always win on defense. It's just not reasonable because, a defense is laid out. Usually you can navigate your way through it at a minimum on a 2-tap. You know what I mean? But, I think so that whether that's going to be is that, you probably could put Doom on one offensive war team and Silver Surfer on a different offensive war team and be able to almost wipe out anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I definitely think Silver Surfer is going to suddenly be this weapon that you're going to be using in your Alliance war. Like nowadays, a lot of us are like, where have we used our Black Orders? Now it's going to be the Silver Surfer.
Well, I mean, you passed over Sinister Six, right? The charge mechanic on his ultimate.
Oh, we haven't talked about that. Yeah.
I mean, we could go back to that, but I mean, this is a hard counter to Doc Ock and Sinister Six. I mean, it is. They're dead. And then whenever typically what happens is when there's a hard counters, then those teams suddenly become offensive teams, right? That's typically what happens, right? We get like there's been hard counters to as Guardians, right? Which would be Jubilee and Carnage, right? Separately on different teams, right? And so it's like, well, I'm not putting hell on defense anywhere because I know that someone can take advantage of that hard counter. And same thing with Ultron. Ultron's rarely found on defense because there's a hard counter to him. And so this will definitely probably mean that Doc Ock and Sinister Six will eventually come off of defense because there'll be a hard counter to them.
I think that's a really good insight. I agree with that. And he also counters Red Skull with the charges. Now, we don't see Red Skull as much on defense, but some people throw Zemo and Red Skull together on defense, which I don't do. I will say definitely going to be a weapon there. Definitely we could probably talk for an hour on that. And also, I will just say he's probably going to be part of the solution for Mystic raids and Doom, right? Because you'll use your Silver Surfer to get more Silver Surfer, right? Just like I'll use Hela to unlock the Hela node. You're going to use your Silver Surfer to beat those Mystic nodes, right?
Yeah, it's almost I have to say it's almost too much to process in a lot of ways. Like there's so much here. It's without a doubt it's going to be good. I can't see this being bad in any way. In fact, I'd be disappointed at this point after reading the kits if he's not the best or second best character in the game.
There's no question in my mind. And so, as I said in the beginning, this is a character you're going to want to put all your red stars into. So I will just say, I said in my stock watch, don't use your red stars or your gold promos on anything but long shot. At this point, if you only have enough for one character, save them. Save your gold promos, save your red star orbs. This is the character to go all in on if you're going to go all in on a character. There's no doubt about that. Well, look, it's been an amazing conversation. Thank you for joining me. Always a pleasure having you on.
This is fun.
And absolutely. So we'll have to do it again. And if you like this content and more stuff like this, press the like button, subscribe to this channel below. We also have the links below to my Discord, to my Twitch stream, and other resources that you can go to get more information like this.
Okay.